Incoming message.
It was the dawn of the third age of mankind. Groovy.
Hi-ho. This is me, Kermit the Frog.
Hello there.
Moopsy.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Not a great plan.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Let's see what's out there. Engage.
Different roads, same old spark. Talking Trek till the street lights spark. We're those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT cannon lighting up the airwaves. Blasters of books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys.
And those sci-fi guys, we are those sci-fi guys, and this is that Those Sci-Fi Guys show. Just two working dudes serving lives or jobs and a whole lot of love for science fiction and the fun that comes with. We are your hosts. I am P.S. McKay, and apparently, just like in all life, according to Google Gemini, the first move when solving the quadratic formula is to calculate the discriminant.
And I'm DT Cavman, and I was taught not to discriminate.
Well, Google Gemini said discriminant, so I don't know. Is it? Are you giving me a yellow card? Is that gold press latinum?
That is my gold press latinum.
Did you get more, or did you pull that out of the sock drawer?
It sits over here.
Yeah,
on my podcast station. So.
Yeah. I mean, I know where you actually broadcast from, but it would be hella advantageous to have that back wall, have all your sci-fi stuff there. It's an impossibility.
It is an impossibility. I would love it because I actually have a small desk in the guest room that has a few items on it. It has an Enterprise I got at a Comic-Con. A really nice Defiant I got as a gift, and the Micro Machines pack from Generations.
Yeah, bud. You had, all right, refresh my memory, but you had the Enterprise D from All Good Things, right? The future one, the bigger one.
I did, yes. Yeah,
I know we talked about this.
Yeah, you could convert it. You could fold the fins and everything in, like you lifted up the part of the back of the saucer section and put in the third nacelle, and it could either be, your standard Enterprise D or your,
the Enterprise D.
Enterprise D.
Yeah, the future.
The Enterprise D plus or whatever.
The D plus. It's true. Look,
I'll tell you. I asked my folks, about a year or so ago. I'm like, "Is anything left?" She's like, "The only thing we kept were the Legos because we figured grandkids would play with those. We weren't entirely sure the grandkids were going to play with the bridge of the Enterprise or the Playmobil Cavalry Fort."
Oh,
I mean, I had long since passed on Castle Grayskull, all the levels through the Ninja Turtles. Can you imagine? And most of those things were well loved and played with. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Transformers. Yeah. But like some of those things are like super, like if I had kept one of them in a box, it'd be like, collector's items, people fighting over on eBay.
I have looked at that stuff up. Like Castle Grayskull is going for like $350.
And I belong to several, Star Trek, Star Wars, and other sci-fi, fan pages on social media. And like sometimes people will just drop, hey, walked into a thrift shop or went to a yard sale and found like this Benjamin Sisko Playmates action figure, for like $1,
Wow.
In the package. And you're like, holy shit. What are you
in the package?
some nerd died and they're cleaning this shit out. Great.
Oh, yeah.
The people who are cleaning this stuff out are people who don't know how much that some of these things can be on the collector's thing. You know?
No, and that's
like I've looked at the
they
micro
don't know
machines.
or they just don't care.
Like if you were to try to look up the original, the first generation, first iteration of the 3 major packs, like the 25 toy packs of micro machines, like you're talking just for that, which was probably $40 or something back then. You're not talking like $300 for these things. You get to the ultra rare 3rd pack, which had the Enterprise E, the Dominion warship. This is stuff right before it kind of fell off a cliff. Voyager, all that. That was like even more rare. And like if you were to try to buy like I went on eBay. Somebody had like the 3 pack, and it was like $500-$600. I'm like,
$675 the last one I checked, with all 3 those boxes, those collections.
That's what I said. Goo.
Yeah. And I gotta be honest, I sat there thinking about it. I did.
No.
I thought about it. I can't.
Can I tell you how many times I went to a lightsaber, one of the booths, and checked out a handle, a saber? Like there was one I saw. It was so fucking cool, original, and like this was one of the cheapest ones on when I finally broke down and bought it. Right, we're talking like a handle that was like, it was like $600, but it was shiny, ornate. There was this nice metallic blue. It was exactly what I would have chosen if I was a real Jedi. I mean, it was like, oh my God, they had a DT Calfman actual lightsaber handle here. It's like, oh my God, it's like $250 for this one. And this one, and I love this thing. This is awesome. This is amazing. This was still like half that price, less than half that price. Yeah. Little over 100. And this is nice, man. Like this, no knocking the Disney one that you go to Disney, the ones you build, with the real with the plastic parts and the, telescopic.
Oh, those. Yeah.
I mean, that was like $50-$60, like whatever it was. And I overdid it. And I'm kicking myself because I wish I had just like one small cap part at the end where I could like reduce my handle for that one. When I started scouring on like eBay to see if people were selling pieces, and you could, but I couldn't guarantee it was from any, it was going to fit my stuff.
Right.
So I just gave up on it. I have this really neat Disney lightsaber that I cobbled together. A little too much extra shit. So it makes the handle like almost the size of a double-handed lightsaber blade. It looks so.
And that's the kind. It's like it's the telescoping one, right? The plastic telescope. Telescope.
Which would be easier to carry around Comic-Con. I'm not gonna lie. This was cooler.
Yeah.
And when some of the cosplayers were like, "Oh, can I check out yours?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man." And this is a super basic.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that USB charged?
It is. You can use a USB charge it.
Yeah. Nice.
Screw some of these things, like this, the technology in this thing is incredible. You can change the color, the sound effects.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it was definitely money well spent. I'm not gonna lie, but I may or may not have perused for more.
Because Disney, because of Star Wars Land, they now have an experience to buy your own custom lightsaber there, but it looks a lot more like yours, right?
Sure, but yeah. You could buy those.
Those are at least
$250. Yeah, that's what it was.
So Yeah. Huh. That's nice.
I think now I got to play with this thing again. The problem is it's only one button, and you have to like figure out the cycles.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't want the seizure-inducing blade effect. I wanted the solid one. So now I got to figure that one out again. So, but
well, continue, please. Sorry.
You know, man. I mean, the stuff that we had as kids, and so much of it, like, I'm sure was either trashed or given away or donated. And so, you know, I don't have a whole lot from that time. I had so many of the Micro Machines, Star Trek and Star Wars. You know, I didn't have much in the Star Wars action figures. I did have a lot of, mostly TNG and a couple of DS9 action figures. I had the bridge set. That was cool. Such a dork.
Star Wars. I remember the bridge set. The Star Wars stuff was a little bit harder to come by at that point because they just, you know, the movies had kind of passed by at that point.
Right.
So.
For us, like for our ages, like in the, and I think it was Kenner or whoever had the Star Wars toys when Lucas released the special editions. I think toys started coming out again, like for real.
Oh, with vigor.
Yeah,
with vigor.
Because that was 2 years before Phantom Menace hit, and then everything took off. Right.
And I remember, like, I had friends in college who would go on Star Wars Day, like, to go buy as many things as possible, specifically so that they could, you know, keep it for collective purposes.
Sure.
And there was this big article that I remember reading back then because I didn't have any money. I was not able to, like, take part in said privilege, if you will. But I remember this article talking about the problem when you buy something that is so mass produced is it doesn't have intrinsic value for a very long time. And that was the question about this new set of toys with the prequel trilogy. So that's the question. Now it's been 20 years now. 20 years since 25, 26. I mean, you know, it's been a long time.
It's
27 since
27
Phantom
years.
Menace and 21 since Revenge of the Sith. So, you know, there's been some time, and I don't recall being able to find anything related to the prequel trilogy, you know. But I also didn't want any of the crap that they were selling with the Disney stuff after The Last Jedi. That's for sure.
Well, what did sell was Mando stuff, but mostly Grogu.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda, Grogu, whatever you want to call him, the child was everywhere. Still is, even more so. You can go to the movie and buy a collector's edition bucket that is Grogu in his pod, and the back half of the pod is a popcorn bucket. I've seen
really?
them out on social media. Or you can buy a giant bucket of popcorn with a standee Grogu holding on to the back of it. I mean, they're marketing the ever-living shit out of this. And
let's see. I am trying to find pictures of it because
oh yeah, it's everywhere.
Is it this one?
I mean, they had Grogu at the Oscars.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but that's Disney. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Well, it was on ABC.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. Let's see if I can share this. You tell me if this is what I'm supposed to be looking for here. There we go. That it?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
No. Maybe no. That's just stuff. No, it's like the
that.
commemorative pop. No, that's not it.
Oh. Well,
You got to type
let's
the
see.
Mandalorian and Grogu popcorn buckets.
All right. DeLorean and Grogu popcorn bucket.
See, you have an AT-AT Walker one too. Look at that one.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm kind of shocked that they did that.
With Mando hanging off the side. Yep.
Do the legs articulate? That'd be cool. That'd be too much to ask for, though.
Well, you don't really want it to articulate too much. It's holding your popcorn.
True, but I always wanted an articulating AT-AT growing up because the older kids in the neighborhood had them. Not our neighborhood, different neighborhood, but with older kids, much older kids. They got all those cool things because it was too old for me. Got 3D file. No, that's nothing. Yeah, all I can see is this, and maybe if I go to Google.
Oh yeah, you gotta go to the Google.
Can't just Bing it anymore, huh?
No, what are we?
DeLorean and Grogu popcorn bucket. Images, please. Well, we got this.
I mean, there's all different. Yeah, see that one. Okay, go. Nope, 2 over.
This is
to the right. To the
this
right.
one.
Click that one. You see.
Let's see. Visit. Oh, dang. Bloop. Don't want to share that one. Okay, is that what we're gonna do? All right. Well, nope.
Or you can skip back to the left.
Share this tab instead.
Yeah, see? Look at these.
Yeah, these are all the options right here. Okay, so this one makes more sense now right here.
Yep. But if you click back out, there's another one.
I'm going to stop sharing this and jump back into here. What other one?
Here, I'm sending it to you. Here, just sent it to you. This one's a little. Yeah, look at that. Mm-hmm. Look, see, you got a big popcorn bucket with a Grogu hanging off the back.
Yeah, that'd probably be the one I would go for. What's happening? I'm getting a ton of interference here all of a sudden. What's going on?
I don't know.
Turn off my cell. That might be doing it.
Yeah, I did that too. Well, no, I didn't turn it off. I turned off the
actual cell data part.
No, I turned off the Wi-Fi so it was not sucking from the Wi-Fi right next to the computer.
Yeah. Okay, this works. All right, yeah. No, you see, if I was to get one of these, it'd probably be this one right here. I would have no place for this. I mean, it would be this one too.
That one might just be a regular bucket that has a disposable bucket that has the, poster on it.
I can almost guarantee you that this is what will be at my local theater. This one and then the cup with
yeah,
where you have the Mando sitting on top of the lid that we just saw previously. So yeah, that's one of those things.
Mrs. Cadman, I think, might be interested in the one with the giant Grogu hanging off the back.
Yeah, it comes out in a week, by the way.
My family and I have tickets to the Sunday show. Show. Sunday evening.
How are you going to avoid the spoilers, DT?
Well, it's Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend, so I'll be busy enough.
Boy, I gotta tell you, I need that 3-day weekend. Whew,
you know what opens that weekend, and my kids.
Oh yeah. So there's going to be a lot of neighborhood involvement and stuff. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
You know.
Yeah, no, I definitely know. But no one else can. That's the problem. So no one else is allowed to know. So
it's all good.
If you can't tell, everybody, we had a topic, but then I bitched out. So I apologize. Things came up. I couldn't do the research in time. So I apologize.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
It really does. So that's what we jam with.
Yeah. So, I was there was something I wanted to bring up. There was I was did you listen to These Sci-Fi Guys' latest episode? It's all right if you didn't.
No, I hadn't yet.
They listened to they didn't listen. They reviewed Mr. Peabody and the Mr. Peabody movie that came out like 10 years ago or something.
Like Mr. Peabody and Sherman?
That's it. That's the one with the guy for the father from Modern Family and stuff. And I gotta say, those guys, they took the assignment seriously. For a kids movie, I was loving it. Like, yeah, they were like, yeah, it's a kids movie, but you got to take the time-space continuum seriously, guys. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely correct. But they brought up a question which actually stopped me because I usually listen to them when I'm walking the dog and whatnot. But Dave brought up this scenario. Was it Dave or was it? I think it was Dave. Forgive me, John. Forgive me, Chad. If it was one of you, I apologize. But here's the scenario. You tell me what your thoughts are. So if we were able to invent a time machine to take us back to the time of Jesus,
okay.
Do you think that Jesus would recognize we didn't belong there? And now we would be wearing the local garb and all of that. Let's just pretend that language is not an issue either.
He's the son of man. He's the son of God. I'm sure he could understand us.
Well, I'm just saying, like, let's just say we magically understand, we're able to understand and speak Aramaic fluently.
Universal translator. Nice.
I'm just saying. Do you think he'd be able to instantly recognize that we were men out of time? And what do you think he would say?
Head
scratch,
my
right?
sons.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's part of it, I'm sure.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 2,000 years since my last confession.
And Jesus goes, we're not ready for that New England stuff yet. Okay. You got to go back. but keep an order for me at the dunks. Okay. No, actually, yeah, that actually demonstrated what I was thinking. He would recognize that we were men out of time, and that he would encourage us to go back. Because Son of God stuff, things like that. I thought that was a fascinating question and thought, a thought-provoking question, in my opinion. I don't know about you.
Jesus, you can send me back, but could you send me back? I don't know, say 30 pounds lighter and with a little more hair. just a request.
Or
it's just an ask. It's just an ask.
Or you don't even need to send me back all the way. Just send me back to 1998, right before Google goes public, and I can invest $16,000 in their IPO. That's all I want.
That would be a no, I think, from the Son.
I know that would be an immediate inappropriate ask, but so Yeah, that's probably sacrilegious, to which I didn't mean to offend anyone on that one. But speaking of offended, have you been following the story about the Odyssey? Christopher Nolan's Odyssey?
I've seen some things. I'm not sure which things you're talking about.
Well, there's a lot of things. So Christopher Nolan is probably the last Hollywood director who has fans. Yeah, let me remove this. I'm going to remove this.
You mean Spielberg doesn't have fans and Scorsese doesn't have fans?
They do, but I would say that Christopher Nolan has more at this juncture. Like, Spielberg had his peak. He's still Spielberg. Same as Scorsese. But there was a peak, and then there's a little, downward. I don't want it to come off as I'm talking trash about them, because they're absolute masters in their field and talent beyond reproach, right? But I would say that Nolan movies are still event movies that still need to be seen. People, he has a lot of fans that make appointments to see those movies in the theaters. I understand that. I wouldn't say that I'm a Nolanite, but I get it. I understand it. What was that grimace?
Nolanite. It sounds like something
I just made that up.
It sounds like a precious metal.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, well, I just made it up. So, yay, pat me on the back. Anyway, so, with his attention to detail, I mean, Christopher Nolan with Interstellar, he was able to put enough attention into putting together that black hole representation that astrophysicists looked at it and went, holy crap, it looks like you changed the paradigm on what we think about black holes, and you actually created a new working model that we didn't think of. Like, he has that kind of attention to detail. And he really focuses on a lot of practical effects and things like that. He just has that meticulousness. The Odyssey is a different case. First of all, it sounds like he's basing this off of a recent translation from 2017 by a female professor out of England who translated it into modern language. Like the dialogue was modern language, which feels, first of all, that gives me a little bit of an ick right there. It's documented that at some point Telemachus, played by Tom Holland, says, "That's my daddy." Yeah. Or he might say dad, but he doesn't say father. That's my father. Like, there's a dignity when you say father, when it comes to these kinds of epics and things like that. The armor is all off, because it looks like they give the Trojans a little bit higher technology, something more medieval than, like, it's full body armor rather than just chest plate armor. And then leather leggings and armbands and whatnot. And they also are going to have Travis Scott, a known rapper. There's no word about how he's going to be the narrator, but he's the narrator. Now, the question is, Nolan was asked, like, why did you have Travis Scott be the narrator, out of curiosity? And he goes, well, this is an epic that was told in rhyme, and the closest that we have to sophistry in today's world is rap. Which I'm not against that comparison, but how? What are you going to do?
Was Lin-Manuel Miranda too expensive?
I know, right? I mean, there are some questions. There are some questions that I have, and I'm nervous about this, and then we've got a bunch of Greeks that are being portrayed by non-Greeks.
Why not Snoop?
Well, yeah.
Or Eminem.
Yeah.
You
So
can't take the Detroit out of him enough.
you can't. You just can't. So, oh my God. So we got that going, and then we've got Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy. That's weird. Zendaya playing Athena, I can get behind. Do you remember the Odyssey that came out in 97, 98?
Amanda Santi.
Yes.
Odysseus.
And
It was a TV
yes,
movie.
It was a TV movie, 2-parter. Yeah.
I watched it.
I watched it too. We were reading the Odyssey at the time in English class that year at that point. So our teacher kind of told us that we had to watch it, which was fine. But you know who was playing? Was it Vivica? Vivica? Shit. Someone was playing Calypso, the Odyssey. And it was fine. There was no controversy
Peters.
there. Was it Bernadette? No. She played Ciri. Cersei, sorry. Let's see. No, Vanessa Williams. Vivica Fox, god damn it. Ugh, I'm never gonna hear the end of that shit. So yes, Vanessa Williams played Calypso, the goddess Calypso.
Okay.
She was great, by the way, in it. Like, she was fantastic. I'm okay with Zendaya playing Athena. It's a little off, but fine. Like, it's the whole Lupita Nyong'o thing feels a little forced, though. Like, but I don't know. It just feels, this whole thing feels off. Like, this whole thing, I don't know what to expect. I suddenly don't have any desire to see this movie because it just feels like there's one too many pieces that are out of place on it. Just feels wrong. Like, in the sense that, like, it's going to be like, there's too many anachronisms in this that just don't work in the sense.
Anachronisms for a myth?
Well, Troy did exist. And he's taking the gods out, by the way. Now that I think about it. He actually said that he's taking all the gods and goddesses out. No, he literally said that the gods and goddesses are not going to be in it.
Then you can't have Athena.
I know. So what the hell is that all about?
You can't have the Cyclops.
I know. But so what the hell is that all about? Like, there's a lot of things that are feeling off about this whole thing. It's weird. So, anyway, Bernadette Peters playing Cersei back in 1997. My God, she held up well. Yeah.
Well,
Isabella Rossellini was fantastic.
Wow.
What?
Well, I just had to just look who, like, they've got just looking at the cast names right now
for the new one.
Yeah, for the new one.
Yeah.
I mean, you have, Charlize Theron.
Calypso.
You have Zendaya. All right, so those are two mythical figures right there, right?
Right.
You have
Elliot Page is going to be playing Achilles, by the way.
I've heard that.
Like, well, the ghost of Achilles, at least. But, like, so does Achilles die in Troy? In the Iliad?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
The Achilles heel.
Well, I know the Achilles heel, but I didn't know the context and stuff.
The Iliad, I think, opens with "This is the tale of the wrath of Achilles."
Well, there we are.
Like the
I interrupted
movie
your
Troy,
thought process, though.
Absolute. At least as far as the story and the mythology, it's absolute hogwash.
I heard that. I haven't seen it. I still want to see it.
I mean, it's
I own it.
entertaining enough. It's a sword and
That's-
sandal war movie.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, if we're gonna be bitching about like being true to the texts and whatnot, I mean, you do need to be equally critical of what they did with Troy. To be fair, but I just don't know the Iliad. I don't know the Iliad well enough to be able to be that critical about it. So, but again, let's just put that out there. You need to be, if we're going to look at the anachronisms that are the current Odyssey that's coming out. So,
well, I mean, the real question is, how many of these actors have any Greek blood in them?
Well, John Leguizamo's got at least a quarter. I know that for certain. He doesn't have any Greek blood at all. I don't know about Robert Pattinson. Antinous? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Matt Damon is, I don't know either. But again, you can't be that critical about. You can't just find strictly Greek actors to play Greek characters and whatnot. But, kind of got to play type, right? I mean, this is a European tale. So, I don't know. It's weird. Then I think about the Cinderella with Brandy, which got a ton of acclaim, and I remember liking that. And what changed? We don't need to go through that. But these things have happened before, people. And the world hasn't ended. Just, But
hey, look, I'm not, when it was first announced like a year or so ago,
I was super excited
that they were going to do a new Odyssey. I was like, interesting. Now it just kind of starts to feel like the modern chaos forced upon a timeless tale.
Yeah, it really is. And that's exactly it. That's a good way to put it.
And I'm not talking about casting racially diverse actors and actresses.
No, it's more than that.
Excuse me, actors. I guess that's the more official phrase now.
For the plural.
Yeah. But I don't know, just you cannot tell the tale of the Odyssey if you remove the mythology. Then it's no longer the Odyssey. You want to tell a tale about the Trojan War from an actual, what we think is a historical record, that's a completely different story. But if you're going to call it the Iliad or the Odyssey, you literally cannot do that. That is so much of why that tale is fascinating.
Yeah, no, agreed. And
because the Greeks offended the gods during the Trojan War, the sack of Troy. That's why so many of them didn't return. The fleets were blown all over the Mediterranean. Some people managed to return, some people didn't. But my point remains the same. It cheapens the story, in my opinion.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it's a sad thing. It's like, I just want something to look forward to, guys. Can you give me something to look forward to? But
then you have Zendaya here. They say it's Zendaya and the goddess of wisdom. So how is Nolan removing gods and goddesses?
Well, he said that for the divine interventions that happen, like the whirlpools or the things like that, he's going, what he wants to do is have the people interpret natural phenomenon that comes out of nowhere as acts of the divine.
Yeah, that's something you can do. But again, Athena is a goddess.
And I'm wondering
You're
if you just will
using a
imagine
big name actor in a large role.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to wonder, will he be like imagining his interactions with Athena or praying to Athena or fantasizing about Circe while he's, dying of thirst in the middle of the Mediterranean somewhere? Or, I mean, what is that? It's like, because he'll have, he spends like 3 years with Circe, doesn't he?
That's forcing modern sensibilities on stuff that isn't there in the script.
Yeah. Well, in the epic, yeah.
You remove that, it ceases to really become the same level of epic. That's my theory. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually liked the Clive Owen King Arthur that follows Roman soldiers in
of Arthur.
Yes, but much like the Trojan War, there is thought to have been historical evidence of a King Arthur.
Yeah.
No,
so I agree. Yeah, there is that.
It's different than just removing everything, right? Like I actually liked First Night too, but they took all the magic and mysticism. Awesome. Yeah, but they took all the magic and mysticism out of it as well. No Merlin, no Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was such an out there concept for First Night. You're talking about the one with Heath Ledger, right?
No, that's A Knight's Tale.
Oh, damn it.
First Night is Sean Connery and Richard Gere.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, no, sorry. I didn't see First Night then. I apologize. Yeah, I totally was thinking of A Knight's Tale.
Great movie, but it's supposed to be somewhat historic. The only modern thing they really did was they let the language kind of translate relatively modern. And oh, by the way, instead of orchestral themes and medieval sounding music, they went with fucking rock ballads.
By the way, speaking of that, Nolan has also said that they're not going to be using any orchestral music in the Odyssey because orchestras didn't exist at that time. I mean, there is a lot of double speak that he's doing in this, and it's really weird.
So it's kind of sounding like Nolan's losing his fastball.
Every director has that one movie. Every director does. So, yeah. Yeah. For me, Scorsese's that one movie is Hugo. That movie pissed me off. That was did you ever see that movie? Totally innocent, childlike movie. It. Yeah, I found it to be too circle jerky for the film industry, in all honesty. It was definitely an esoteric movie to. Yeah, I just found it to be too self-congratulatory, and not towards Scorsese himself, but towards the filmmaking in and of the industry. So it just was weird, and it was too much. It was just a lot of weirdness when it came to this mystical machine that was able to draw these movie scenes that later were enacted by Milieu, the French director. Hello. He's in here. He's over here. My family is intervening with the dog, apparently. So,
well,
sorry,
I mean, that can be helpful.
yeah. But yeah, and no one talks about the movie Hugo, by the way. It was talked about for exactly 1 year. And I remember at the Oscars, it was, they made fun of it because no one was killed in it for a Scorsese movie. Like, they were like, Marty, you didn't off anyone in this movie. What's up?
I want to say that I heard a lot about it in an episode of Frakes and Spiner's podcast recently.
Dropping names.
Yeah, I think it might have been when they were talking to Phil Rosenthal.
Could be. Phil knows everyone. Absolutely everyone. Very plausible. Very plausible. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you ready to move on?
Sure. I love talking about movies I've never seen.
Well, let's talk about one that you haven't seen yet, and I don't know if you're ever going to see, but it is a sci-fi kind of thing. Have you heard of The Back Rooms?
Oh, Lord.
What?
I can just smell the chaos magic around you. What's going on?
There's nothing going on. What do you mean?
No,
are you
I've
hearing
never
something?
heard of it. No.
Oh, well, it's a movie. Okay, so it's basically, there's a movie coming out in a couple weeks called The Back Rooms, but it's based off of internet lore. Kind of like a creepypasta. You know what creepypastas are?
No.
Okay. Creepypastas are basically scary stories that, internet users and lurkers can read for free, or they can contribute as a community member and write their own creepypastas or scary stories. One of these creepypastas is The Back Rooms.
Creepypasta?
Yeah,
because this?
You copy paste. So they're creepy pastes or creepypastas. That's how that term came.
Lord.
Sorry, I didn't mean to enrage you with internet speak. So, it's kind of been around for a little while, so I didn't mean to just launch into it like that. It's just part of the vernacular. Anyway, as you can see, basically The Back Rooms is lore that you can fall into this subdimensional area or universe that is basically just a bunch of yellow rooms, yellow carpet, fluorescent lighting, and you can't get out. You're just trapped. Or you can get out if you find the way out. But, in some instances, you're being chased by a monster that you never see. In some instances, you run into other people from different times, or it's creepy. Anyway, the movie's coming out. This is
a drug-induced fever dream.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, like in my head when I see this and when I first thought about it.
I have
like
less than no interest in this.
Don't worry, I'm not going to make you see it. My son's going to make me see it, though.
I'm tuning out right now, dude.
Believe me. I just want to share my plight. But I'm not even playing the sound, and you could just see what this is representing here. Essentially, just room after room of different things, and it's weird.
If Tommy Wiseau comes out, that would probably be about right.
Are you talking about from the movie The Room?
Yep.
Yeah, from 2003. I've never seen that movie. Have you?
I would rather watch that than watch this. This is, you are aiming this at the wrong dude.
Well, I'm just bringing it up because my son's been very excited to see it. Mark Duplass he's a big horror movie guy. He does a lot of indie stuff now lately. But him being involved is actually a really good sign.
Well, that's good because
For
I only
fans of the
recognize
backgrounds.
one name on this entire list.
And it's not him. It's Chiwetel Ejiofor, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Who I like very much.
Oh, yeah. I love Chiwetel. Mark Duplass was in the TV show The League.
Didn't
Did you
see
ever
it.
see that?
It was deployed while it was
Kind of
on.
came out. Yeah, it came out when you were in the middle of a bunch of deployments and stuff.
War. It's called War.
Well, I mean, if you want to be a little bitch about it, I guess. I kid.
I guess
kid,
just that's like your opinion, man.
I kid, of course. But yeah, so that's what's coming down the pipeline. I've turned to my son. I'm like, listen, do you have any friends that you might be able to want to see this with that I can just drop you guys off? And I think he wants to really see it with me. And he's at this age now where I can't dismiss the idea of him wanting to do things with me, because it's going to be coming around a lot less now. So
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
And he's very aware of my discomfort with this movie, but yeah. So
see, and I'm going to say something here, and I need you to think about it from an intellectual standpoint. That is kind of the sign of a little bit of a, the lack of mature thinking that is in teenagers, right? It's like, yeah, I want to see this with my dad. I know he's going to hate it.
Or maybe it's done on purpose.
Then maybe that's not the bonding experience you think it's going to
be. It should be fun. I mean, yeah, I know, but
it's not a knock. It's just there's the way people think mature through through age and experience. No,
that's true. I mean, you
pick up different social cues when you're younger.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Meanwhile, I just recently bought tickets for me and my family to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu, and bought tickets for me and my kid to go to Boston Fan Expo. And now Mrs. Cavman is waffling on thinking about joining the adventure because
to Fan Expo,
there's like a handful of people that she would consider spending money on to go to another Comic-Con. She did LeVar Burton, and then we got to see the Futurama panel, and then our kid got a chance to talk to C-3PO, and she was over the moon for all of it. She didn't know who the shit Anthony Daniels was, except that he was C-3PO, and she thought it was really cool that our daughter got to got to talk to him. Not just like ask him a question, but like he's there interviewing her.
Yeah. Chastising you.
And gladly receiving it.
Yep. When is that Fan Expo?
Early August. But the name that is coming that is causing Mrs. Cavman to actually consider going is they just recently dropped that Mr. T himself will be at Boston Fan Expo.
Oh, damn.
And one of the early shows my Mrs. Cavman and I bonded over were our deep appreciation of the classic A-Team from the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's
you recommend
considering
that movie? The A-Team movie? With Bradley C. Cooper.
Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, back then it was Bradley C. Cooper, remember? So.
No, I do not. What I will tell you is that as an action flick, it's pretty good. If you don't have the institutional knowledge of the A-Team per se.
Yeah. Let's say I
as an
A-Team fan,
it was fine. Do I think it was you know, did it fall short of my expectations as an A-Team fan? Yeah. Can I go back and watch it as an action movie with a little A-Team dressing on it? Yeah, I can. I can do that. You know, it was interesting. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like that huge nostalgia bait win that people, you know, the win that you're hoping that you're going to get.
Yeah.
At least not for me, and definitely not for Mrs. Cat.
Although it was rife right around that time. Hollywood was rife with that kind of really wanting to get these older franchises up and running for the first real time. Like A-Team, G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra was just a year before with Dennis Quaid and Channing Tatum. Star Trek, different. That's a little different because that was in the movies and stuff. They were trying to.
They were all trying to recapture the success of Transformers and the success of the Star Trek. These reboots, worked.
But you know? I all I remember is G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra was a massive disappointment.
Cluster. Yeah, it was could have been better too. It really could have been. And apparently Channing Tatum hated the experience so much that they had him that he basically begged to have Duke killed in the first 10 minutes of the sequel that he was contractually supposed to be in.
Really? That's a shame.
They literally killed off just about every character from the first movie. Supposedly. I've never seen it all the way through. So
the second movie,
what
was it called? It was because I remember, that was the thing. And why can't I find it anymore? G.I. Joe Retaliation, that's what it was. Oh, but they brought in Dwayne Johnson. So that was
Roadblock.
Yeah. Oh, and they brought in Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He doesn't have very high billing, though. Where the hell is he?
He's probably
on the poster, front and center.
Yeah, but he's probably, and that's where you give the stud,
that last part.
And your special appearance, right? Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury was also, and Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Just to remind you that he's a
there,
bad motherfucker.
Joseph Mazzello is in this.
Meh.
Deep dive. Can you call, or do you have recall on him?
Meh. No.
Tim from Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah. I really liked him in the Pacific as Sledge.
Oh, was he in the Pacific?
Oh, my God, yeah. He was one of the main protagonists.
Really? Let's take a look.
Yeah. He was really good in the Pacific.
Oh, God, there's so many things that I need to watch. I need to watch the Band of Brothers. I need to watch the Pacific. Man. It's really disappointing that I feel
Band
like
of Brothers
I don't have enough time to.
Fantastic. The Pacific is also really good. It's just a little, I'm going to say it, it's even grittier because of the type of fighting that they had in the Pacific.
I was just going to say that makes sense all the way through. Look at that tagline. Hell was an ocean away. Yeah, that it is. Which I have HBO. I should be able to watch it.
I think they were also on Netflix for a while too.
It was. It still could be. I don't know. Now I got to be all selfish and look that up. The Pacific. Well, you got to spell Pacific correctly, Mac. Yep, there it is. So there it is there. Is it on Netflix?
It used to be. I think even as of this winter, I binge watched the series
Yeah.
again on Netflix.
You know what I also want to see? That's on Netflix because it's a Netflix original. I got to see a couple things, but 1917. I need to see that. And
It's not a Netflix original.
It's not. No, the one that is a Netflix original though is All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes, the latest
Dying to
remake
see
of
that one. I am dying to see that one.
I need to see it.
Came
too.
out 4 years ago. I'm just like,
oh yeah, I did. I wanted to see it. I just never. With these big epics, sometimes you just got to carve out like literally almost like a day to do it.
you know what we could do? We could just force ourselves to do it by making it an assignment. I mean, it's technically not science fiction, but
Not
it's
even
war.
a little.
Not even a little, but it's war. You know, I mean, you can add some insight into some things and whatnot.
Let's see how I feel around Memorial Day. I usually get into.
Oh yeah, we're coming up on that. No, all right. Well, we're definitely not doing this then anytime soon.
I usually dive into something around those times. Now, 1917, I did watch. I went to the.
What'd you think of that?
Theater. That was good.
That was all done in like one shot, right?
It
Quote
was
unquote one shot.
It was filmed to look like it.
Of course it was, because it's impossible to do it otherwise. But
yeah,
yeah, I got to see that one too. I'm just like,
That one was good.
You know what?
There's what the.
I did see Midway. Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
The one with the recent one that came out.
The recent one,
about 6-7 years ago.
Yeah,
yeah. So that was good. I went to see that on Memorial. On Veterans Day.
It was not Saving Private Ryan, but I freaking loved every second of it.
That one,
every bit of it,
good.
I loved. It was. The critics hated it. Who directed that? I want to say it was a Michael Bay thing, but
that was Woody Harrelson as. No, Michael Bay was Pearl Harbor. Woody Harrelson was Nimitz, and I thought he did a pretty good job as Nimitz.
Oh, he did really good job as Nimitz. Roland Emmerich did Midway.
Roland Emmerich.
He does all the big disaster movies like Day After Tomorrow. He did Independence Day. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He does all that stuff. So this is his big his historical epic that is his first real go around for that. I freaking loved it. And they have this thing now where there's a meme that's out there where they have the American planes dive bombing the Japanese aircraft carriers, and it's like the meme is like something like innocuous, like I woke up today with a crick in my neck, and my father goes, you know what your grandfather did when he was your age, and they shoot to the dive bombing of the aircraft carriers to the song I Need a Hero.
Yeah.
And they're just going through all that flak and everything, and you see the bomb miss, and then you see another bomb hit. It's an effective meme. But that was a hell of a good movie. I loved this movie. So
it was really good. Despite the fact that they have, Ed Screen playing a fighter pilot from New Jersey or whatever, you can't do it anymore. I mean, you cannot make a movie without a Brit, a Kiwi, or an Australian playing like an American icon or something like that.
It kind of is that way, yeah. Aaron Eckhart was playing Jimmy Doolittle, so he's American.
Yeah, but you got Luke Evans. and Ed Screen were like two of the top billed. You know who actually really impressed me in this movie was actually Nick Jonas.
Yeah, he was really good.
And
Like,
the real
I
fucked up
wasn't
part
expecting
is that actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
remind me.
how he died.
Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit more information than that. A lot of people died in this movie horribly. He wasn't the one that fell into the. He wasn't the one that fell into the burning water at Pearl, right?
No, he was the one who the Japanese like tied weights to him and threw him off the boat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ugh. Yeah, that really did. Yeah, I know.
You know, you think that was real. That is horribly real.
I know. It is like awful.
Yep.
Ugh.
So yeah, but that was a good movie, you know. Getting around these, you know, quote unquote patriotic / military type holidays. They're really, you know, I have a tendency to watch military movies, shows, whatever. And I go whole hog, man. Like a buddy of mine and I, we started doing this a couple of years ago when Masters of the Air came out, which is the third, you know, Spielberg Hanks miniseries on World War II. This one was about pilots in the European theater, and he and I'd go over to his place and we'd binge a couple episodes. Every couple of weeks we do that and finally finish the series. Now we're doing that with season 2 of Rogue Heroes, SAS Rogue Heroes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. And when we finish that, he's coming over here and we're binging Office Joe.
Damn it. I was just thinking the other day about Office Joe and that second season that's just teasing me. When's it coming out? The end of the year?
Well, I don't know yet. It wouldn't surprise me if it like they try to get it dropped by Veterans Day because that's when it came out the last time. This would be a good year to do it because it's the 250th. So
it'd be really good to do that, yeah. But who knows? But
you want to hear something funny? You want to know what I have been binging lately? A lot of the network shows are starting to come to an end for the year. I've started. When we went on our vacation, we went to Nantucket, and I'm like, what was a really great TV show that I watched a lot as a kid? Wings.
Yeah.
So I dove into Paramount Plus, and I've been binging Wings. And
that's some feel good. That's some feel good soup right there.
It's just warm, cheesy, late 80s and 90s nostalgic. You know, when you're looking at the fashion, the speech patterns, the music, the fact that it's not HD, you know, and the aspect ratio, and it's just so warm. Like you slide into it, I'm like, and like there's times like I'm like on the walking pad, walking and I'm watching, and I was like, okay, I don't want to get into anything heavy while I'm just, you know, walking on the walking pad for 35, 40 minutes. And then it's like, okay, now I'm chuckling and now I'm stumbling on the pad. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Because
how many seasons was that? Because it's only 4 seasons on Paramount Plus.
No, there's more.
There's 8. There's 8 total.
Yeah, there's 8 seasons.
There's only 4 on Paramount Plus that I'm seeing.
No, I saw more than that. I'm watching it on Paramount Plus. Now, I will say that there are missing episodes. I can't see
that. Oh, well, whatever. I'll do a search on the rest of them.
I have done a couple of rewatches since I've had Paramount Plus, and there are missing episodes, not seasons, but episodes, and that really drives me nuts. But
I wonder why that is. That's weird. You can't even buy it.
I think I still have all seasons on DVD because I did do that.
Let's see.
And, from the sci-fi perspective, Steven Weber, one of the co-leads, played a Bajoran colonel during the great 3-part season premiere of Deep Space Nine Season 2.
Steven Weber.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brian. I'm an idiot. Yeah.
He played a Bajoran colonel as part of the invasion force. Who tries
that was
to
right
kill
at the
Cisco
height
again.
of Wings, by the way.
Yeah. Right as it was starting. Yeah.
Season 2.
Right. Season 2
of DS9.
Yeah, I think it was probably about season 5 or 6 of Wings, because it started in like 88 or 89.
90.
Right, 90. It did start in 90. So, it was right in the middle of its run. It was one of those, it was like originally like a mid-season replacement, Season 1 was only like 6 or 7 episodes. But it was just such a fun show.
Yeah.
A wacky cast of characters. But damn it, it was just so entertaining. You have, this is where, more modern heavy hitters, Tony Shalhoub and Thomas Hayden Church got their foot in the door.
Yeah. That's how I knew Tony Shalhoub's character in Galaxy Quest. I'm like, hey, it's the guy from Wings.
Right. And then he started crushing Emmys when he was on Monk, which was a fantastic show. Wings. So Jonathan Frakes, not long after the Next Generation ended, had a guest spot on Wings.
Oh, you called me. You called me in the middle of that show to say, "Hey, turn it on NBC." I'm like, I don't watch NBC. No, turn it on. I turned it on just in time to see Jonathan Frakes get manhandled by what's her face? Forgive me,
Amy Yazbek.
Yeah, because he was a jerk in that episode. Apparently,
he was in Nantucket on business and was flirting with, the character of Casey, and was taking her out on dates and buying her gifts, and he was married with a family back on the mainland,
Mm-hmm.
It was such a fun show. It's in the same universe as Cheers. Several members of Cheers cast crossed over and were on Wings. Kelsey Grammer actually was nominated for an Oscar for playing Frasier on Wings. I think he's the only actor in TV history to be nominated for an Emmy for playing the same character on 3 different TV shows.
That's crazy. Like how was it? Just one episode that it was in, or was it like a little guest star?
No, it was a guest. You can get an Emmy for a great best guest performance.
Sure, I know that, but I just like, wow, that had to have been pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well,
now I have to look it up. Because
it was funny.
Yeah.
It was a funny episode.
Kelsey, I'm sure it was. Hopefully it's in the first 4 or 5 seasons so that I can see it.
I think so, because they were crossing over with Cheers. So I think it was within the first 2 or 3 seasons. So.
Oh, damn it. Let's see. I'm looking up the actor, soundtrack. Here we go. Wings. Dr. Fraser Crane in the episode season 3. Episode 16, Planes, Trains, and Visiting Crane.
Yep.
Visiting Cranes. Well, there we are.
Mm-hmm. That it is.
Yeah, I mean, Nantucket, Massachusetts. He's in Boston, so that would make sense. So a lot of stuff was taking place in Massachusetts back then in the mid-90s. I mean, don't get me wrong. The 90s were known for the sitcom that took place in New York, right? But
if it was either New York or LA, or if they had anything in the middle of the country, it was Chicago.
Yeah. They were really trying to make a push for New England / Boston. Like there was the TV show. I mean, obviously Wings. You had
well, Cheers.
You
kicked
had Wings.
in the door for that.
They also really made a push, I think, in NBC to do Boston Common. Do you remember that show?
I liked it.
I loved that show so much.
It only went 2 years.
It was great.
They had shows that would get a year or two and would be set up here. There was, what was it, Doctor with Matt Frewer. It was all about a small medical practice, which was in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. How long ago was that? Doctor.
A lot of these shows got picked up, like they crashed and burned, and they got picked up by USA for like these mid-morning, like late morning, lunchtime hour of like, bomb show, like middling shows, like shows that, maybe got a second season, but maybe not much beyond that. Wings, however, crushed in syndication for a long time. That's actually where I first found it, was in reruns before I realized, oh, it's still on. And I started watching the newly run episodes. It was a lot of fun,
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they still will fly those small planes over to Nantucket.
Yeah, they do. I did a rewatch. Speaking of Frasier, I actually did a rewatch of most of Frasier like 4 or 5 years ago. And my God, was that needed? That was just there's something about going back to those shows, and most of those times seeing it for the first time since broadcast.
Right.
And I don't know, it's like a balm for the soul. BALM.
Yes.
It's such a feel-good moment. We're like, oh yeah, I could just forget about all the crap that's happening right now, professionally for a little bit. And this takes me back to when I didn't have to worry about Nikes.
It also helps, like when you're super frustrated with, like, you're watching a show and you're like, holy writers, something, give me something. And, like if you've turned on like, oh, this looks like a really great show. And then you turn on and you're like, the script sucks. The story's terrible. The acting's off or something like that. You're like, or it's just like, oh, everything's so dark. Or, if I watch this episode, I've got to watch like the next 5. Can I just turn something on?
Right.
To turn my brain off?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. And the writers suck nowadays. Like, there's very few shows that are well written.
Well, I think part of the problem is just the market is so much more. There's just saturated. So much more. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I talked about that. Like, yeah, I brought that up.
4 networks, really, that were doing real shows, for the most part.
Yeah. And they're not apprenticing writers anymore, by the way.
Into the 80s.
Back then, like, they would give writers the opportunity to develop and learn from older writers and stuff like that. They don't do that anymore. Like, they just, they have someone that's been on a show for a couple episodes or maybe half a season, then they get hired for some other project, or they get antsy and they're supposed to be thinking like, I'm owed like the showrunner job now. Yeah, I did half a season of the Malcolm in the Middle remake or the reboot, So yeah, I totally deserve the showrunner position for the Maze Runner 3. You know,
Yeah.
it's like they're just modern writing is awful, and they're not hiring the people that can write. That's for sure. Or the people that can write are, yeah, the people that can write are stuck in their own things that is, you know, gets a lot of critique and, you know, good critique and stuff, but no one else is watching it. So no, they give all the good stuff. They give all the good franchise stuff to the crappy writers, and all the no name stuff to the good writers and things like that, as if that'll make things better. So anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, you know, but again, like, you know, you'd see these TV shows that would, you know, that like Wings knocked out really 7.5 seasons, right? I mean, they call it 8, but it was season 1 was like a mid-season replacement kind of thing, and so it was limited in its scope. It was great, but, you know, limited in its, you know, in its time. You know, 6 episodes, season 1. It debuted in April. It wasn't even a mid-season replacement. It was like
it was a very end of the year kind of thing.
Let's see if it sticks. But it did well enough. And like I was watching a review video of it recently, and it was like, yeah, like I got like 24 million viewers. I'm like,
I know.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
But this is what happens when there was like 4 major networks.
And the cable channels that were there, that did exist at the time, didn't have a lot of original stuff to compete. Like, they were either re-airing movies or some kind of documentary or something or another. Like,
there were a handful of shows that started getting made in the 80s, but you know, they weren't at the same level. I mean, you started seeing more and more in the 90s and beyond, but, you know, it was, if it wasn't on ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox, I mean, yeah, what'd you have? PBS, you know,
maybe Nova.
I mean, there wasn't much else, you know,
Red
as far
Dwarf.
as first run programs. So you'd have, you know, I guess you could be picky and choose your writing staff. But you could also, you know, a lot of these shows would take scripts that people would send in, you know, almost like fan scripts. I mean, isn't that how like Ronald D. Moore got hired on?
That's exactly how Ronald D. Moore got hired. Star Trek was like the most likely to pick up a fan script and look at it and go, yeah, we could do this. Let's pay the writer and give them a credit, and we have to change a few things, but this will work. Yeah, I remember actually, this is a memory I just had where a friend of my dad's at his office, you know, found out that I was a big X-Files fan at the time. And he's like, yeah, I'm writing an X-Files script that I hope gets picked up. And I'm like, oh, good for you. They don't do that, though. I didn't say that. But in my head, I'm like, Chris Carter doesn't accept outside script. But okay, well, I hope that works. So he was a nice guy. I liked him a lot. But yeah, I was like, oh. But yeah, that sentiment of being able to write a script for a TV show and throw it in unsolicited, that was a thing in the 90s. That did happen. So,
well, you know who else didn't take stuff was JMS. You know, there was
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
What was there? Something like 110 episodes, and he wrote like 90 of them.
I have no idea how he pulled that off. Like, I mean, he had to have been involved in almost every aspect of that show. And how did he write 90 scripts? And by the way, you know, episodes, like 22 episodes a season, 23, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's insane.
And I get a little annoyed, like when, and we'll wrap it up here in a second, but like we're coming out with another NCIS this year. They're not kicking any of the current shows off, but they're bringing LL Cool J's character from LA back. He is going to headline a New York NCIS. And rather than, debut it in the summer or just add it to the calendar somewhere else, they're like shorting NCIS Origins and Sydney. They're like cutting their seasons like by a third or something like that. And instead of having 20 episodes, they're doing like 13. And then like Origins is only going to be in the fall and this other thing's going to come on. I'm like, gee.
Does this really save money? I mean, it must, right? It's got to if they do it. But like,
but they're doing it with the newer series who have less named characters. One of the things that One Chicago does, the Chicago Dick Wolf, Chicago Med, which by the way, one of the main actors on Chicago Med now is Steven Weber. He plays like one of their chief of surgery or something like that. He's been on that like 5-6 years now. But what they do, particularly with Chicago Fire, which is the longest running of the series, is the actors have like an episode cap. Even if they go 20 episodes, like some of the actors, particularly the ones who've been on the longest, are like in it like 15 episodes or something. They're like, they disappear for entire episodes.
I mean,
if you still want to stay on the show, you've got to cut your episode numbers down. So
I hate that. And it's noticeable too. Like, especially if it's a well-liked character and things like that. Like they did that with well, they didn't do it, but Richard Dean Anderson in season 8 of SG1, he had put his foot down. He's like, I really just want to spend more time at home in LA rather than spending all my time in Canada. I can respect that. I understand that. And the episodes that he was prominent in, but there was a big drought right in the middle of season 8 where he just wasn't there. Or they mention him that he's off screen and it's noticeable. And at the end of season 8 is when they're like, okay, well, he's back. It's annoying.
And and there's now all sorts of weird episode numbers, like the Scrubs reboot. They went 9 episodes. 9.
Yeah.
9.
Very successful reboot, by the way.
Yeah, it was good, but 9.
Yeah,
it's really annoying me. It's like it's about right. One more episode.
9.
the show definitely could have used one more episode, I think. Considering how they were ending the season, I think one more episode would have been even better.
I think it got renewed, right?
It did, but still, it's like in The Mandalorian. It's run 3 seasons. Each season has been 8 episodes. It's like 8 is weird.
I can almost understand that, though, because of the cost for the show. I can kind of understand that. Like, each season was like $150 million to make.
They could have sold more Grogu merch. I'm just saying.
No argument there, man. No argument there.
But again, it's weird things. Like, remember Game of Thrones? Like, there were 10 episodes a season. And it was like, all right, season 7 is going to be 8 episodes. And season 6 is going to be 6 episodes. I'm like, some of these things that you fucked up in the last 2 seasons, if you had brought those extra 6 episodes in, could have, smoothed some of these story plots out, these storylines and plot holes. But we're going to go down a rabbit hole if I'm not careful. It's just, weird numbers, right? Like the Yellowstone spinoff, Marshals, 13 episodes. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's technically half a season in the old formula.
In the old formula, yeah. Nowadays, if you have 15 episodes, that's long. Like some of the network shows like NCIS will get you up to about 20. I'm good with 20. If you wanted to cut back from 26 or 24, cut back to 20, I got it. I'm good with that.
Sci-Fi Channel was doing that for the longest time.
Some of these tales, some of like, I miss a little episodic stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was bitching about the other
it's
week.
Tomorrow. So,
so
what do you say, my friend?
What I say is, well, I'm not going to sing it, but until the next time, everybody, we hope you had a good show. By the way, the numbers are up. So all of y'all out there who's taking the time to listen, we truly appreciate it. So thank you. We hope you enjoy it. To the new listeners and to the new viewers out there, thank you again. Thank you for giving us a shot. We
yeah. And thank you. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes. I feel like I'm missing one.
Well, you said iTunes, so yeah, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. Apple.
Yeah, that works. That works.
For you old heads, you can still find us on the iTunes and download. You can
on the iTunes.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's free.
Oh God. 10 years ago, I would log into my iTunes account every morning before I left for work and download the podcasts of the radio shows that I missed because I couldn't listen to them live at work. Every morning I would log in, hook my iPod in, and do that. It was 20 years ago, by the way. Oh my God.
and just a heads up, folks, the reels and the episodes. Oh, TikTok. You're putting us out on TikTok.
Yes, we are on TikTok. You're right. I forgot about that.
I knew there was
got a great following on TikTok, by the way.
Yeah.
That
the reels are really
quick.
Reels are hitting there. You can find the long form videos. We have our own website too, but you can find our long form videos on on YouTube, Rumble, and whatnot, and they're uploaded to Facebook. So you can come find us there, log in there. I'll tell you this, on Facebook, we occasionally have extra content, pictures,
yes,
posts and whatnot.
Well, you might get some jokes.
Sure. A little peek sometimes behind our nerdy lives here too. So check us out, on Facebook as well for some additional content you're not going to find on most of the other platforms.
Anywhere else. All right, then. So until then, till the next time, you guys keep dreaming. We'll keep working. I'm P.S. McKay. So long, everybody.
And I'm DT Cavman. And we'll see you on the high ground.
Mack's got a pen that can warp the stars. DT's got stories from cavalry scars. One writes the worlds where the heroes fly, the other roll tanks under desert sky. From sandbox sports to the final frontier, two kids with dreams and a six-pack of beer. Different roads, same old spark. Talking Trek till the streetlights spark. We read those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT Cabin lighting up the airwaves. Blasters of books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys. Mack spins a tale about a rogue AI. DT counters with, man, I drove that guy. From doom to doom, we argue the stakes while the coffee gets cold and the pizza box breaks. Childhood pals in a grown-up fight for the best damn death scene on a Friday night. Pixels or pages, we're never done. Two working stiffs chasing alien sun. We're in those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT cabin lighting up the airwaves. Blasters or books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah. No capes, no powers, just regular days. But we'll save the galaxy in our own ways. Max drafting novels in the dead of night. DT's got tank tracks, turns them into light. Together we're louder than a hyperdrive screen. Two regular dudes living the sci-fi dream. Yeah, yeah, we're with those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT cabin lighting up the airwaves. From the sandbox to the stars, we'll never say die. Tune in, geek out, those sci-fi guys.
Replicants. Bring the Bourbon Rider boys, gonna get real.